Hi everyone, I'm Gemma. I'm an adult recreational ballet dancer and today I'm going to talk about taking a ballet exam as an adult. In March 2018 I took my Royal Academy of Dance Grade 6 ballet exam. I'd taken this exam when I was 15 and I just got a pass. I started taking grade 6 classes again last year. I just really enjoyed the syllabus. It was another class that I could do and I enjoyed it. Quite a lot of the class took their exam last November, and at that point I sort of had an inkling in my head that I wanted to take the exam. I wanted to take the exam again just to see how I'd improved, see what my strengths and weaknesses were, and just to get that much more corrections from my teacher so I could improve even more, because obviously when you take the exam she wants me to do my best, so she just gives me more corrections, more things to work on, things like that. So for those of you who don't know, Royal Academy of Dance is a huge examination syllabus based in the UK, but it does exams worldwide. They have 3 different syllabuses. They have the graded syllabus, it has the repertoire syllabus, which is their new syllabus that they've just brought out, which is sort of designed for adults and recreational dancers. And then they have the vocational syllabus, which is for the more advanced students who are going to go on to become training. Other people can do it, but it is really for the more technically advanced dancers. As a kid, I'd done the graded syllabus. I'd gone all the way through pre-primary, primary, and then grades 1 through to 8. So basically how these exams work is in your ballet classes you will learn a set of bar exercises, a set of centre exercises, some free movement exercises, carrot exercises, and a dance. So your teacher will teach you all those in, and then you pay an exam fee, and you go in on a certain day in groups of up to 4 and perform in front of the examiner, and she will give you a mark out of 100. It's all breaking down sort of technique and performance and timing and all these different things, and you'll get a mark at the end of it. So these exams cost about 60 quid to take. So on the day that I paid my exam fee, I also paid my studio a show fee for a ballet production that I was doing, and I also paid my teacher for several weeks worth of classes. So total up, I think I paid out about 150 quid in one go, which was a lot to pay for dancing, and I think, well, I've had some amazing opportunities and it is worth it. I mean, you don't take exams every other week. It's not like you're throwing money away. It is sort of like showing off like a year's worth of achievement. As I said, I took it as a teenager. I wasn't a very good dancer as a teenager, but it also wasn't a great exam either. It was on a Friday afternoon and I'd spent the week working in a restaurant as work experience. So I turned up at 4:30 absolutely knackered. The girl I did the exam with, she had glandular fever, so neither of us were on our best form. But we weren't technically brilliant dancers anyway, and then I ended up scraping 44 out of 100. 40 is a pass. At the time I only did half an hour of dancing a week. So I thought this time around I do a hell of a lot more dancing a week. With show rehearsals I think I'm up to about 20 hours of dancing a week sometimes. This time around I found out that my exam was also going to be on a Friday afternoon. But unfortunately I was a lot more focused and determined on doing well, whereas last time I was like, well, I know that dancers, let's just rock up and see how it goes, and maybe smile a bit more for performance. This time around I was really sort of concentrating on all the corrections, taking them in, making sure I improved. I got a hell of a lot more corrections. I like so many corrections. Not even in the grade 6 classes, but in all my other classes as well. One thing my teacher was really a stickler on was timing. You can guarantee if I have the chance I will go too fast in a dance. I'm always thinking sort of the next step ahead. Sometimes I'm not thinking the next step, I'm doing the next step. And because I learn dances in like chunks, they're like in chunks in my brain. They're like once I've started a chunk, I have to wait till I've stopped that chunk before I can sort of do it at another speed sort of thing. It's like I can hear that I'm doing it wrong, but I physically can't make my body stop doing it. Got a lot of corrections. Timing and posture were my main ones. But then because of that I also got a lot of compliments when I did things right, and when she'd seen I'd improved and obviously put the hard work in there to get there. So that's nice. I work very well with compliments. I do like my compliments. I definitely work harder and push myself more when there's a definite thing I've got to do. It's sort of given me a reason to work on my weaknesses and sort of focus like, right, you need to do this by this date, rather than, oh, I'll get round to it at some point. Not only did I get the corrections from my teacher, but I also wanted to ensure that I practiced a lot in my own time. I ended up going to my gym when I was still a member there, and I'd use their Pilates studio when it was free and film myself dancing. I think it's a lot easier to sort of correct yourself when you can see what you're doing wrong. I did it maybe about 5 or 6 times for like the whole syllabus, and yeah, it's easy to see what the teacher's saying when you can sort of like see yourself what you're doing wrong, gave me some other sort of things correct, and also helped me work on my performance and sort of projecting out, because when you watch yourself and you're looking down at the floor or you're hunched over, you're going, that looks dreadful, and without changing anything else about your dancing but just sort of like opening up here, oh, I sounded really posh there, yeah, it just makes it look that much better, so that really helped. Yeah, the exam was supposed to be one Friday, and then for some reason it got moved to the following Friday, which was annoying for several reasons. Number one is I was due to be working that Friday, and I was working a late shift the Thursday night as well, so it's like whatever time you do this exam on Friday, it's not going to be a good time for me. So I'm either going to be sleeping, or, you know, sort of just getting up and feeling a bit groggy because I haven't had enough sleep, or I'm going to be working. So fortunately my work has been absolutely amazing, and I managed to jiggle it around so that I could take these days off to go. So it's still Friday afternoon, but the thing was, I just sort of got myself ready for the exam. I was ready to get it over and done with. I'd sort of done the exercise enough time. I like didn't want to listen to the music anymore. I thought, at this stage I'm not going to improve, like this is as good as I'm going to get, and any more practice isn't going to change anything. So I was just ready to sort of get in there and get it over and done with. So exam day finally came, and every time I started thinking about the exam I suddenly started getting nervous. So to distract myself, I actually started doing embroidery. Like, it was something that required enough brain power that I couldn't think about the exam, but it wasn't sort of physical and wearing me out. I have not touched that embroidery since, but it was just something to keep me busy. Yeah, and then I had to go to the studios and get ready. So for this exam, for the bar work, you just wear a plain black leotard, and obviously you wear your pink tights and your pink shoes. I much prefer wearing colours when I'm dancing. The RAD doesn't specify what colours you have to wear, but for our studio everyone has to look the same, so everybody had to wear black. If you'll notice in my videos, I much prefer my royal blue leotard. I think I look much better in that than the black one, but never mind. And then for centre work you wear a black rec skirt to go along with it. For free movement you also have a scarf. Mine was black, the other girls was white. And then for character work you change into your character shoes and your character skirt. So you have to take all that with you into the exam. And we get into our exam, we greet the examiner, and then she just like goes through who your name is and that, just to check it's right. And originally we were supposed to be a group of 4 going in, and there are only 3 of us because my partner dropped out. Not due to me, but she just wasn't going to do the exam. So on our paperwork we were 1, 3 and 4, but we had numbers on our fronts which were 1, 2 and 3. So the examiner was like, no, you can't do that. So we walked in, introduced ourselves, and like walked straight back out again, and our teacher just had a huge look of panic on her face, like, what the hell have you guys done? Why are you going out already? But like, we just had to change our numbers over. I got to the bar, I was feeling quite nervous, not as nervous as I thought I'd be, because when I'd done it as a teenager I was so nervous. I was just like just stop thinking, just do it, you know this, do it on autopilot. And yeah, I've done the pliés probably 1,000 times. I forgot the pliés when I was a teenager, so I don't recommend turning your brain off that much. This time round I was trying to focus on smiling and breathing. For some reason I was breathing through my mouth, and that was really drying my throat out, and I was just like, try and perform, try and do this nicely. So yeah, bar went alright, and then moved on to the centre work. Now I did everything on my own, and then the other 2 danced together, just because there's not enough space for all of us to do it all together. Port de bras I went a bit out of time, but I think I sort of like corrected myself. So I didn't do that as well as I could have done, which is a shame because I like port de bras. And then we had pirouettes. There are 2 different pirouette exercises for grade 6, there's en dehors and en dedans. En dehors is my much preferred way of turning, and also it spent a lot of time getting my timing absolutely perfect because I was going too fast on the glissades. And I got that sort of like, I sort of nailed that. And then the examiner was like, can you do en dedans? I was like, great. And I just was not having a turning day at all. I did not do a single pirouette nicely, and he sort of like, you know, she's looking at my feet, and I was like, I'm not doing a releve. I know I should be doing a releve, but I can't turn. And that day I was like struggled to go around once, and it was just, oh, it was dreadful. I was just sort of thinking, I was like, I wish I could impart all my knowledge I have on pirouettes, and like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing and I'm not doing it, but she can only mark me on what I am doing. And then I did the adage, and after that I sort of started to settle down. The allegros went really well, and then because I'd chosen the classical dance, that's what I did next, and that went as well as I could have danced it. That was the best I think I've ever done it, so that went really, really, really well. There are two other options for dances. I could have done a free movement dance, which is what I did when I was a teenager, but I filmed myself doing that this time round, and I was just turned in and hunchback for all of it, and I was just like, oh no, 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 no. It was sort of like, I love doing it, it's a really enjoyable dance, but I don't look pretty doing it, and I thought there's just so much there to correct. That was just a no. And then there's also a character dance, which I haven't learnt. After my dance, we had the free movement section, which is just 2 dances which you do with a scarf. Yeah, it went over really, really quickly. I think it's my weakest section, but there's only sort of 2 dances, so you don't have a lot of time to sort of show yourself off. I struggle with it. I'm quite stiff, and also because you're holding a scarf up, like my shoulders tend to go up as well, so it was a hard time trying to keep that down. But one of the dances, it's for elevation and use of space, we have the option to do it continuously, which is how we practiced it. So I did it, and then the next person's supposed to do it. But the person playing the music had only played the solo version, so the examiner's like, right, we'll do it again, and then you can all do it continuously. So I thought, great, here's an opportunity to do it again, let's see if I can do it any better. Did it exactly the same, and I was like, well, there you go, waste of a second chance. And then after the free movement, we had character, and at this point in the exam I was like, how the hell are we on character already? It's gone by so quickly. And I think character I really struggled with. I think I missed a lot of classes where they'd done character work, and also because character isn't in any of the other syllabus stuff that I do. It's not in any of the vocational exams, and it's not in any of the free work that I do in my adult classes. So it's just not a style that I practice as much. One thing that I struggled with was I'd learnt to do things wrong as a teenager, like things like the mazurka. I'd always been doing that wrong. And the ending to the polonaise. The ending to the polonaise and the ending to the pas marches, I'd been doing those wrong. And I had the muscle memory, was still in there from when I was a teenager. It was like, right, I know how to do this. My teacher's like, no, you're doing it wrong. And trying to sort of fight my brain and fight my body and go, no, don't do that. That took a lot of work. My brain got there a lot quicker than my feet did. But yeah, I think it took me till the exam before some of those I got right. And honestly, at that point I was thinking, right, I was still sort of thinking about my technique, whereas my other ones I was like, I know this at the back of my head, I can just go out there and perform it. Whereas character, I was still like focusing on my technique. I was just like, right, my concentration face must have been hilarious. We did the reverence to thank the examiner, and that was it. That was all over and done with. So my exam was in the middle of March, and then the results were supposed to come out at the end of April. They said they were going to come out on Tuesday. Then on Tuesday my teacher got an email saying, we've had a problem, we've got this new system of rolling out results and it's not worked, you'll get them tomorrow. And she finally got them Thursday morning. So she messaged me to let me know they're in. I was like, what did I get? She sort of really dragged it out. It was like several messages to get through. And she's like, well, you haven't improved 10%, you haven't improved 20%. I was like, could you just tell me what I've got? Like, I'd spent so long waiting, and it wasn't so much the waiting, it was knowing that they were sort of imminent. Like, it could have come out in May and it wouldn't have bothered me, but saying it's going to come out today, you're sort of like on edge, and like any second now I could know what I've got. It's that sort of feeling. And so what I actually got was I got a merit, and I got the best mark that I've ever got in my life taking a ballet exam. So for ballet exams, you're marked out of 100. If you get less than 40%, you get a fail. If you get between 40 and 54, you get a pass. If you get between 55 and 74, you get a merit, which is what I got. And if you get over 75 or over, you get distinction. So I got 67. I think the highest I've ever got before is 63. And I think I got that for an exam I took when I was 11. So I'm really, really, really proud of myself, and I have improved so much. Yeah, so I'll put up a table here of how the marks are broken down, what I got as a teenager and what I got now. So there's a lot of marks out there for my technique. There's a technique for your bar, there's a technique for your centre, which includes your pas de bras, pirouettes and adage, and there's another centre one for your allegro, there's one for your free movement, there's one for your character, and there's one for your dance. and most of those I got 6 this time round, which, while still not amazing, is way better than I did last time around where I was getting 4s for everything. My technique was very consistent throughout. I thought there might be a bit more variation and sort of show off some strengths and weaknesses, which either doesn't exist. And then I was very surprised that character was my best, technique-wise. My teacher thinks it's probably down to the fact that by that time my nerves were over and I just got a bit more confident doing the exam, which is maybe why I didn't get higher marks in the bar section. You know, maybe it's sort of evened out, like the nerves dropped mark there, and then, I don't know. Maybe my bar isn't as good as I thought it was. But yeah, I definitely thought free movement was my worst. Yeah, I definitely have bits that I prefer and don't prefer, so I'm surprised it was so even throughout. Dance is actually marked out of 20, so I got 6 marks, 6 out of 10 marks for my technique, but then I also got marked for my timing and performance, and I got 8 out of 10 for that, which I'm really pleased with because I have been working on my timing and performance, and my teachers said to me, you need to get 8 for timing because we have put so much time and effort into this, you need your 8, and I also got 8 for my timing, for my classical section, and I got 8 for my performance as well. So this is the first time I've ever got 8s in my exam, so I'm really happy with them. And that's what I thought I'd do best, and I thought I'd do best in my performance. So I got 44 when I was a kid, I got 67 this time. That is a 23% improvement. That is huge, and I'm so happy with myself. It's the best mark I've ever got. It's not the best mark in the world, but compared to where I was, I've seen such huge improvement, and I've come on leaps and bounds. I'm really happy with myself. I'm really happy all my marks went up. I'm really happy that it showed how much effort I put into working on my timing. When taking the exam, I thought I'd get a merit this time around just because I thought I'd improved from as a kid, but I didn't know where in that band I'd sit, because obviously that's a 20% range from 55 to 74. It's like, where am I going to fit? And I was like, I honestly had no clue. I don't know what they're looking for. I couldn't tell you what a 6 technique versus an 8 technique looked like. I mean, obviously one's better than the other, but I couldn't look at somebody and say, give them a number to say how good their technique was. Sorry about the camera change. My camera just decided to die, so I'm plugged in at the moment. I'm really happy with my mark. Obviously there's still part of me that wants a distinction, but and I'm not quite there yet, and I don't want them to sort of lower the standard of a distinction, because the people who get distinction are truly amazing dancers. So it's still something to work towards. And I'm also kind of glad that I've sort of got in the sort of like high 60s rather than getting sort of something in the low 70s, because I think if I was just like 1 or 2 marks away from getting a distinction, I'd be thinking, oh, what if I'd done this in the exam? What if I'd done that? You know, thinking that like something on the day might have changed my results. Whereas I know even if I'd sort of done something slightly better in the exam, it wouldn't have changed the fact that I got a merit. Considering I was scraping passes, I was scraping a pass, I have come such a long way, and I am really thrilled for myself. Yeah, I think I danced in the exam about as well as I could do, so I think the results are sort of like an accurate reflection of how well I can dance, because I don't think I could have really gone in there and done any better. My dance in particular, I was like, yeah, that's that, I've sort of like nailed that as well as I can do. So I'm really chuffed with myself at the moment. I keep saying that, but I'm really happy. I just want to end this video with a congratulations to Sharon and Lydia. They're the 2 girls that I danced with, and they're amazing dancers, and they got their well-deserved distinctions. They were fantastic. And I want to say a huge thank you to my dance teacher Amy for pushing me and for letting me do the exam, and for yelling at me and making me improve, and just for generally putting up with me for so many hours every week. I think this exam results definitely prove that all those hours of hard work we've put in has been worth it. So there you go, that's my experience of doing a ballet exam as an adult. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it showed you that, you know, age isn't going to stop you from doing what you want to do, and it's definitely not going to stop you improving or getting better as a dancer either.